Every time I scroll through Instagram, it's like I'm hit with this wave of perfectly snatched bodies. And it honestly started driving me nuts. I'd see all these people living their best lives, partying, traveling, and still looking flawless. And there I was, exhausted from all the dieting, killing myself in the gym, skipping meals, practically starving, counting every single calorie like my life depended on it. But no matter what I did, that dream body just seemed out of reach. And I was fed up, burned out, and honestly pretty depressed. But then I decided enough is enough. And I went on a mission to figure out how to cheat the system and get on the fast track to get that snatched body. And guess what? I cracked the code. And in this video, I'm gonna share how I shifted from being tired and stressed out to living my skinny fit timeline. So trust me, you won't wanna miss this, because at the end, I'm spilling all the secrets I discovered along the way. Let me tell you, I've been there. I know what it's like to feel trapped in a body that doesn't match the vision in your head. I was stuck in this vicious cycle where I felt like I was doing everything right. Eating clean, working out like a maniac, saying no to all the foods I loved. But still, every time I looked in the mirror, it was like nothing had changed. I was putting in all this effort, but the results just weren't showing up. You know what? It wasn't just about how I looked, it was about how I felt. I was tired all the time. My energy was drained from trying to keep up with insane routines that promised to give me that perfect body. And my mind was constantly occupied with thoughts about foods, workouts, the numbers on the scale. And it felt like my entire life revolved around this endless chase for something that always seemed just out of reach. And it got to a point where I was so frustrated, I started questioning everything. Why could some people have it all? An amazing body, fun lifestyle, and still enjoy their lives, while I was stuck feeling miserable, stressed, and hungry. And I began to think, there has to be another way. I mean, I couldn't be the only one feeling this way, right? And that's when I stumbled upon something that changed everything for me: manifestation. Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. You know, I'm like into the law of attraction my whole life already. But a few years ago, I dove really deep into it. I started learning about it, and the more my knowledge expanded, the more I started to realize that the way I was approaching my goals was all wrong. I was focusing on the struggle, the lack, and the negativity. And I was stuck in a mindset that was basically setting me up for failure. And what I learned is that manifestation isn't just about wishing for things and hoping they magically appear. It's about shifting your mindset, aligning your energy with what you want, and taking inspired action. Instead of being consumed by stress and frustration, I started to focus on how I wanted to feel in my ideal body: confident, energetic, happy. And that's when things started to change. Now, in the next chapters, I'm going to break down exactly how I use manifestation as a tool to shift into my skinny fit timeline. But first, I want to dive a little deeper into the mistakes I was making and how they were holding me back. Because if you're feeling stuck like I was, it's very important to understand why before you can start to make a change. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about the mistakes I was making, because trust me, there were plenty. And I know I'm not alone in this. A lot of us fall into the same traps when we're trying to get that perfect body. But we don't always realize the damage we're doing to ourselves in the process. First big mistake, I was completely obsessed with numbers. The number on the scale, the number of calories I was eating, the number of hours I spent at the gym. It was all consuming. Every morning I'd step on the scale and that little number would decide my mood for the entire day. And if it went down, I felt like I was winning. But if it stayed the same or heaven forbid, it went up, I'd spiral into frustration, self-doubt. And I was letting these numbers dictate my self-worth, and it was exhausting. Next, I was overtraining like crazy and severely undereating. I thought that if I just pushed myself harder in the gym and ate less, I'd see results faster. And I was doing intense workouts every single day, barely giving my body any time to recover. And on top of that, I was restricting my food so much that I was always hungry, tired, irritable, and my body was constantly in survival mode, holding on to every bit of fat because it thought it was starving. And I was stuck in this cycle of burnout, and I kept telling myself it was the only way to get results. Another mistake I made was focusing way too much on the negative. I was always thinking about what I didn't want. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to feel sluggish. I don't want to look like this. And my mind was filled with all these negative thoughts, and that's what I was putting out into the universe. What I didn't realize at the time was that by focusing on what I didn't want, I was attracting more of it. I was stuck in a loop of negativity that was sabotaging my progress. And let's not forget the comparison game. I was constantly comparing myself to others, especially on social media. I'd scroll through Instagram and see all these perfectly toned bodies and wonder why I couldn't look like that. And what I didn't see was the reality behind those photos, the filters, the lighting, the angles, and yes, sometimes in Photoshop, of course. But instead of realizing that, I beat myself up, thinking I wasn't good enough or that I was doing something wrong. Finally, I was always on the lookout for quick fixes. I tried every fad diet, every trendy workout, every miracle supplement that promised fast results, and I was desperate for that magic solution that would give me the body I wanted without all the hard work. But every time I ended up disappointed and right back where I started, sometimes even worse off than before. Looking back, it's clear that these mistakes were keeping me stuck. I was chasing after something external, this idea of what I should look like, without realizing that the real change needed to happen on the inside first. I was treating my body like it was the enemy, something to be fought against, instead of something to be nurtured and supported. But a real breakthrough came when I started to shift my mindset and approach. I realized that the key wasn't in working harder or punishing myself, but in working smarter and being kinder to myself. And that's when I started exploring the power of manifestation, not just as a tool for getting what I wanted, but as a way to change my entire relationship with my body and my goals. In the next chapter, I'm going to dive deep into how I discovered manifestation and how I began using it to create real lasting change. And this wasn't just about thinking positive thoughts. It was about aligning my actions, mindset, and my energy with the life and body I truly desired. So if you're ready to learn how to make that shift, stay with me because we're just getting started. Alright, so here's where things started to take a real turn for the better. I've always been into the law of attraction, the idea that your thoughts and your feelings shape your reality. And I'd used it before to manifest some cool things in my life, like career opportunities, relationships, even money. But for some reason, I never thought to apply it to my health and weight loss journey. I guess I was so caught up in the idea that getting fit had to be a struggle that I couldn't see any other way. But one day, after yet another failed attempt at a crash diet, I was feeling totally defeated. I remember just lying there, scrolling through my phone, and I came across an old favorite, The Secret. Now, I had read the book and seen the documentary years ago, but something nudged me to give it another look. So I decided to read the book again, just for kicks. And as I read it, something clicked. I realized that I had been doing the exact opposite of what The Secret teaches when it came to my body and health. And instead of focusing on what I wanted, I had been obsessing over what I didn't want. I was filled with negative thoughts about my body, constantly worrying about gaining weight and stressing over every little thing I ate. I was literally attracting more of the same negativity into my life, and it was showing up in my body. And that's when I had an epiphany. What if I started using the law of attraction to shift my mindset around my health and body, just like I had done in other areas of my life? What if I could actually manifest the body and the health I wanted instead of fighting against myself all the time? Changing my mindset. So I decided to put it to the test. The first thing I did was stop all the negative self-talk. And every time I caught myself thinking something like, I hate my body, or I'm never going to lose this weight, I'd stop and I reframe it. I started saying things like, I love my body, I'm grateful for my health, and I'm becoming fitter and healthier every day. And at first, yeah, of course, it felt a little weird, like I was lying to myself, but the more I did it, the more natural it became. I also started visualizing myself in the body I wanted. I'd close my eyes and really picture it, how I would look, how I would feel, what I'd wear, how confident I'd be. I let myself get excited about it, and as if it was already happening. And this wasn't about obsessing over a specific weight or size. It was about embodying the energy and feeling of the version of me that I wanted to become. But I knew that just thinking positively wasn't enough. I had to align my actions with my new mindset. So I made a conscious decision to be kinder to myself. I stopped overtraining, started exercising in a way that felt good to my body, moving it out of love and not punishment. Starting with my yoga sessions really helped. Now, my yoga teacher taught me to listen to my body, to be aware of tension and breathe through it and then letting it go. And she taught me the connection between the body, the mind, and the soul. And I also began eating foods that nourished me, focusing on how they made me feel rather than just counting calories. It wasn't about restriction anymore. It was about balance and enjoyment. And here's the crazy part. Once I made these shifts, things started to change. My body responded in ways it never had before. I was losing weight without even trying so hard. And the best part was that I felt amazing, full of energy, happy, confident. And it was like I had unlocked a whole new way of living. I realized that manifestation isn't just about sitting around and wishing for things to happen. It's about getting clear on what you want, shifting your mindset to align with your vision, and then taking inspired action towards it. It's about trusting that the universe has your back and that you don't have to struggle to achieve your goals. So by focusing on how I wanted to feel, healthy, vibrant, confident, I started attracting those things into my life. And the more I aligned my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions with this new vision, the more my reality began to shift. And it wasn't just about the physical changes. It was about the way I felt about myself, my body, and my life. So now that you know how I shifted my mindset, let's get into the specific techniques I use to manifest my dream body. And these aren't just quick tips. They're powerful tools that help me align my mind, body, and energy with the vision I had for myself. So if you're ready to create real, lasting change, these techniques can help you do just that. One of the most powerful tools in manifestation is visualization. But this isn't just about daydreaming. It's about creating a clear, vivid image in your mind of what you want to achieve. And every day, I took a few minutes to close my eyes, picture myself in the body I desired. I didn't just see it, I really felt it. I imagined how I would move, what I would wear, and how confident I'd feel. I let myself get excited about it, as if it was already happening. But here's the key. I didn't focus on a specific number on the scale or an exact size. Instead, I focused on the overall feeling of being healthy, fit, and confident. And the more I visualized, the more real it became in my mind. And as I held on to that image, my actions naturally started to align with it. I found myself making healthier choices and enjoying exercise, not because I had to, but because it felt good and was in line with my vision. Affirmations were another game changer for me. For so long, I had been stuck in negative self-talk, constantly criticizing my body and doubting my ability to change. And affirmations helped me reprogram my mindset and replace those negative thoughts with positive, empowering beliefs. I started writing down affirmations that resonated with my goals. Some of my favorites were, I love and appreciate my body. I am becoming fitter and healthier every day, and I'm worthy of the body I desire. I repeat these affirmations daily, first thing in the morning, throughout the day, and then right before bed. And over time, these positive statements started to sink in, and I noticed a shift in how I felt about myself. I wasn't just saying the words, I was starting to believe them. And as my beliefs changed, so did my reality. Gratitude was a technique that really helped me stay grounded and positive throughout my journey. Now, instead of focusing on what I didn't like about my body, I made it a point to be grateful for what I had. Every day I wrote down at least 3 things I appreciated about my body, whether it was my strength, my health, or even small improvements I noticed along the way. Now, this practice helped me shift my focus from lack to abundance. And by appreciating what I had, I attracted more of what I wanted. It also made the journey more enjoyable because I was no longer beating myself up for not being where I wanted to be. And instead, I was celebrating every step forward, no matter how small. Now, if you're interested in using my result tracker, just click the first link in the description box. Manifestation isn't just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about taking inspired action. This means listening to your intuition and taking steps that feel good and aligned with your goals. Now, for me, this meant moving away from punishing workouts and strict diets and instead finding ways to nourish and care for my body that I actually enjoyed. And I started experimenting with different types of exercise until I found what I loved, like yoga, dancing, hiking. And these activities didn't feel like chores. They felt like fun ways to connect with my body and enjoy movement. I also began focusing on eating foods that made me feel energized and satisfied, rather than just cutting calories. And the key was to do what felt good, not what I thought I should be doing. And when you're aligned with your vision, the actions you take will naturally support that. You'll find yourself drawn to healthier habits and choices because they resonate with the person you're becoming. And because these actions come from a place of love and alignment, they're much easier to stick with. Now, one of the hardest parts of manifestation is letting go of the need to control every single detail and trusting that the universe and your efforts will deliver. And after all, we've been conditioned to believe that we have to work hard for everything. If we're not seeing immediate results, we're doing something wrong. But here's the thing, true manifestation requires patience and trust. And I had to learn to let go of my obsession with the outcome and trust that as long as I was aligned with my vision and taking inspired action, the results would come. And this wasn't about giving up or being passive. It was about releasing the need to force things and allowing them to unfold naturally. Now, when I stopped stressing over every little detail, I noticed that my body started responding in ways it had never had before. I was happier, less stressed, and more at peace with the process. And as I let go, changes I desired started happening more effortlessly. And these techniques, visualization, affirmations, gratitude, inspired action, letting go, they were the foundation of my manifestation journey. They helped me align my mind, body, and the energy with the vision I had for myself. And they can do the same for you. Remember, manifestation isn't about waiting for the universe to do all the work. It's about becoming the person who attracts the life and the body you desire through your thoughts, your actions, and your energy. So here we are at the end of this journey, but really, it's just the beginning for you. I've shared with you how I cracked the code to manifesting a snatched body, and I hope by now you see that it's not about some magical secret or impossible to reach goal. It's about harnessing the power that's already within you. The truth is, the key to manifesting your dream body isn't in a fat diet or an intense workout plan. It's in your mind. It's in how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you align your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions with the body and the life you desire. Now, I learned that the universe isn't here to do all the work for us. It doesn't hand out perfect bodies or dream lives on a silver platter, but what it does offer is endless possibilities. The magic happens when you take control of your mindset. When you stop focusing on what you don't want and instead start living in alignment with what you do want. I discovered that when I combined visualization, affirmations, gratitude, inspired action, and the ability to let go and trust the process, I unlocked a power that transformed not just my body, but my entire life. It wasn't about forcing myself to fit some ideal. It was about becoming the best, most authentic version of myself and loving that version every step of the way. And you have that same power. You have the ability to manifest the body you've always wanted, but it starts with changing your mindset and committing to a process that nurtures both your body and your soul. And when you give a fuck about yourself truly and deeply, that's when the magic happens. So as you move forward, remember this: you are the creator of your reality. Your thoughts, your energy, your actions are your tools. Use them wisely, with love and intention. And watch as you manifest not just a snatched body, but a life that lights you up from the inside out. This is your journey, your transformation, your time. Code is cracked. Now it's up to you to use it. My beautiful soul, I hope this video inspired you. And if it did, I trust you give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody that could benefit from it. Leave a little heart emoji in the comments. It's always nice to spread some love. And if you're into more weight loss manifestation videos, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you in our beautiful soul family. My beautiful soul, it's time to say goodbye. It's time for you to be you. Love yourself. And I'll see you in my next video. Namaste.